you have the possibility to co create along with this higher power. Every soul has the divine right to evolve back to source consciousness with no interference and no manipulation. Although, once again, elders hold the keys, it is open to any soul ready to do the inner work, the original divine potential of every soul. If you've ever wondered what these aliens want with us, the reason is because humanity carries galactic DNA. We are very much these races' children. And so they are very interested in our evolution, in our well being. And so this is the real disclosure. On today's episode, we're going to talk about the Emerald Covenant, what it is, why it matters, and the real truth behind all of this, because we need to be prepared. We need to be connected to our own intuition, our own inner truth, our own discernment moving forward with the information that is going to start surfacing, the truths that are going to start coming out, but most importantly, the ones that are not necessarily truths. Welcome to another episode of the Homo Luminous podcast. I am your host, Mizuya, and this is the space where we drop survival, reclaim our sovereignty, and step into the most extraordinary version of existence. Before we dive in, make sure you are subscribed and notifications are turned on so you don't miss any episodes. Now, what is the Emerald Covenant? First things first, it is not a religion, it is not a cult. Essentially, it is a blueprint. It is a treaty that was established billions and billions of years ago. It is an evolutionary blueprint. It is meant to restore every single soul's birthright to return back to source consciousness and to evolve with no interference, with no manipulation. So it is based on principles of oneness consciousness, which I'm going to go deeper into. But it is not something that you join, it is something that you remember. The Emerald Covenant is an ancient interdimensional peace treaty and evolutionary blueprint. It is a mandate from the Emerald Order. This is a council of Time Lords and original cosmic guardians that oversee this planetary, or rather cosmic harmony. It was established billions of years ago during cosmic wars as a way to invite even fallen races to evolve back into the light, into source through bio spiritual healing. So this covenant is stewarded by elders, some of us currently incarnated on planet Earth, most operating at the spiritual realm. But essentially, this is a Christos realignment. And what I mean by Christos is not Jesus, it is not Christianity, it is the original divine potential of every soul. Every soul has the divine right to evolve back to source consciousness with no interference and no manipulation. The Garden Alliance are the stewards. We protect stargates. These are planetary portals for dimensional ascension. We clear distortions. So we remove systems designed to hide your divinity, and we guide humanity to transition from 3D consciousness to 5D consciousness. Even though it is stewarded by elders, it is not something that is exclusive to only a few. It is open to every soul that is ready to remember their divine origin and that want to live by these principles of oneness and sovereignty and harmony and unconditional love. So, the way that you align with it is not through a ceremony, it is not through anyone giving you permission to make part of it. You align with it through your frequency and your intent. Although, once again, elders hold the keys, it is open to any soul ready to do the inner work that is required in order to align with it. Your membership, quote unquote, is verified by your DNA activation. So when that 12 strand DNA comes online and it starts developing, you start aligning with this frequency, with oneness consciousness. You start operating more from a place of service to others. And this is how you naturally start aligning with these principles that allow this cosmic harmony and peace, unconditional love to exist in everything that we do and the way that we move through the world. The core principles are based on the law of one. One of the main ones is sovereignty. So this is the idea that you are source. There's no middleman needed. You have a direct connection, a direct line to source that is available to you all the time. Service to others. So this is beyond ego. This is why, for you to really experience oneness consciousness, not as a concept, not as something that you read somewhere, but as a structured, physical, tangible reality, we move from ego consciousness to more of a collective evolution. Universal harmlessness. This is the idea that your thoughts, words, and actions are intentional in a way that don't harm any biological life. Coevolution. All souls have the right to heal, to evolve, to grow and move past their mistakes, their humanness. Co creation. This is the idea that you are actively co creating your reality along with Source. And co creation is very key here because although you carry this creative power, there's still a higher power, that is kind of setting the stage, the conditions, whereas you're not fully in control of what is going on in your reality, but you have the possibility to co-create along with this higher power, whatever you want to call it, source, God. And last but not least, the law of unity. This is the idea that what you do to another, you do to the cosmos. And that is the very reason this covenant exists. Because as human beings here existing on planet Earth, what happens here is not limited to just this planet alone. It affects everything in the universe. And so this is the reason that first of all, planet Earth is moving from 3D to 5D. Um, this planet and humanity got to a place of so much density, so much amnesia, so much disconnection from source and our divine nature that the density and the darkness and the chaos happening in this planet is affecting every other aspect of the cosmos, of the universe. And so, this is why this ascension process is not only the most exciting thing that is happening right now, but it's also what every other being in the universe is closely watching and closely guiding and overseeing, because once again, it is affecting everyone, everything in the universe. So it is essential that humanity moves from this ego survival consciousness to one of oneness and divine embodiment. With that being said, the Emerald Covenant is not something you join, it is something you remember. And your ticket to that galactic citizenship is your 12 strand DNA activation. Once that Merkaba light body comes online and you start operating as this light being in physical form, you align with the principles of oneness consciousness. Um, that is essentially my mission here on planet Earth. I'm here to reconnect every soul who is ready to remember their divine origin. I'm here to reconnect them with their own sovereignty, their own inner power, their own divinity. The beautiful thing about this is that the Emerald Covenant doesn't mean that you have to be a certain way. It doesn't mean that you have to follow these strict, rigid rules. For example, as many religions kind of establish. Um, I don't care if you smoke, if you twerk, if you dance, if you whatever you do, you're free to be your most authentic expression of self. You're free to be human, to be imperfect, but it is really just a way of existing in the world in a way that benefits everyone around you. Starting with yourself, unconditional love for yourself. And in doing so, this is how we are creating a new society, a completely new world where we can coexist with our differences, with our diversity, but still living under these principles that really honor the divinity in everything and everyone around us. If you are ready to claim your galactic passport, I'm going to leave a link here below. I am currently building something unprecedented. I am so excited to share this with all of you when the time comes. But if you want to stay close to my world and be the first to hear about it, to access special promotions and things like that, click on the link and come be part of this movement that is guiding the next evolutionary leap of humanity and planet Earth. I will see you again next time. Bye bye.